Hello and welcome to the third episode of Hypothermically Speaking, a series where I take questions and suggestions and turn them into a video. I tell a story, give my opinion, or offer my insight into world issues. The game in the background is called The Forest. The focus of this video is suggested by Undisc Games HD. They asked me to discuss the best date I've ever had. To give you guys some background, during this time I was about 17 or 18 and I was working at a local movie theater of mine called Silverado 19. Loved the hell out of that job and I enjoyed every single day of it. Looking back, I would probably still go back to that job to work there if it paid better. Now, when I did work at the movie theater, I worked mainly one position over the others. I would either work usher or I would work the ticket station. And the ticket station was basically just a podium that you'd stand there pretty much all day and just welcome people in. And you know, you just welcome them in. It's like, all right, thank you for coming, enjoy the show, yada, 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 all that jazz. So that was mainly my job and no one really wanted it. And I was such a good people person and I didn't mind it so much compared to everyone else. So I typically got that job a lot. But I didn't mind it. It was fun. And I had a blast talking with people. A lot of the time I would actually end up using material, funny jokes, miscellaneous things I thought of on people when they were coming in while working the job. Along with testing out really shitty jokes, I would also test out the ladies, and I would hit on girls a lot. I made it a goal of mine to basically come home every single week and have at least one at minimum number. At times I was pulling in sometimes like 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers a week, which was a big deal, especially for someone being a chubby high schooler that only had comedy to his name. To me, it was a big deal. Basically, flirt with them, talk with them, text them, try to work things out, try to get to know them a little more, and then I would either bite or just sort of stop texting them. I'm a bad person, I know. Basically from that is I would line up a lot of dates off of that, and I would end up texting a lot of girls. I'd end up being relatively busy. I would try to get at least one date a week as well as the number. So I would get the number and then I'd try to get a date out of the numbers I got. That was just typically something my dad recommended to me. He thought it'd be fun and I sort of followed along in his footsteps in that. And I did have a lot of fun. And I learned about, what kind of girls I like, what I'm into, and what I want for the future. Now, of course, one of those girls was the best and worst date I've ever had, all in one. She was just like any other chick. I hit on her, she came back after the movie was over, and she gave me her number, and we just talked for about maybe 2 to 3 minutes, and then she left. And I got a whole bunch of pats on the back and shit like that for my coworkers, but that was actually the first time I was noticed in front of other people, including a manager, so it was a little weird. But I brushed it off and did my thing, finished up work, went home and texted her, and I ended up texting her off and on for the next week, and we decided to meet up on Friday and go to a movie. So after a while of debating and talking, we decided to see Act of Valor, and then we also decided that her mom would drive her up there and then I would take her home. That was the original plan, but it fell through because her mom was apparently randomly busy. So I took the honor of just going ahead and picking her up, and we just enjoyed casual conversation and had fun. I got to know her even more, and experiencing her in person was pretty fucking awesome. She was about 5'8", 5'9", really, really hot, way out of my league in my terms, really physically fit, and she was just gorgeous blonde. She was hot, and I wasn't terribly into blondes, but I don't even care. So I picked her up, and even on the way to the movie theater, we were already laughing our asses off. We were having an awesome time, and it was really enjoyable. We were just listening to music, laughing, making jokes, and this is the most I'd ever seen a girl actually laugh at anything I've ever said. So I felt like something was going pretty awesome. We got out of my truck, and right away we were being really playful with each other, and as a joke, I carried her all the way into the movie theater, casually, just for fun. I don't know, it was in the moment kind of thing, and looking back on it, it's sort of cringy, but it was her idea, so I'm totally down with it. Now after that happened, I carried her all the way in, we were laughing all the way in, I kept on seeing my coworkers because I worked at the movie theater, so it was a little funny. Guys, my buddies are giving me thumbs up yeah dude, yeah, and I was really hyped. It was awesome. Saw the movie, she ended up actually crying at one really sad part, and I was there for her, held her, did that whole movie moment iconic thing. The date was going amazing. We talked quite a bit, we enjoyed each other, we were different but not terribly different. And it was just awesome. It was going amazing. Everything was just working out perfectly. And so far, it reeked of a movie kind of date. It was amazing. And I was super hyped. And I thought I was maybe, oh, I'm going to date this chick, dude. I'm going to date this chick, dude. So even on the way out, I ended up giving her a piggyback ride, and she just rode on my back, and we were just laughing casually the entire time. And, you know, just I carried her to my truck, I put her down, and I got in the driver's seat, and then we were ready to go. And I was like, all right. I was sort of itching to maybe go on a little more, hang out a little more, and get to know each other a little more, but it was getting sort of late, so I was like, all right, I'll drop her off. We can do this another time. That's fine. That's cool. She basically told me where she lived, and I was like, okay, can you guide me a little bit? Because I'm terrible at directions. So she guided me there, and while on the way, we got a call from her mom. And her mom basically asked her to, hey, while you're out, is it possible if you can go over to your dad's house and let the dogs out? So I was just like, hey, fuck it. Yeah, sure, whatever. We'll let the dog out. That's not a big deal. I'll do that. That's fine. And I'll go with you. So on the way there, we, did the normal thing. We were laughing, casually just chit-chatting. And as we were about to pull into her dad's neighborhood, I began to realize, like, wait, we're going back to her dad's place. Her dad is out of town, and I'm alone with this really hot girl who's really into me. What is going to happen? And I swear, right whenever I had that thought, right whenever I was having that thought, right when I was like, dude, am I going to get laid, dude? I'm a teenager. I'm getting hypey in my mind. She says, this has been the greatest date I've ever had. This has been so much fun. And I'll never forget this. She said, my boyfriend would never take me on a date like this. He would never do this for me. And that's when my mind shut down. My mind was like, what? What? So I responded like my mind in a clusterfuck, trying to what do normal humans say in this moment? I was like, oh, you have a boyfriend. Okay. I didn't know that. She's like, oh, I thought I told you. Yeah. He's a douchebag. I'm probably gonna dump him soon, honestly. He's really mean to me, treats me wrong. So my mind's on fire at this point. I'm seeing red flags pop up all over the place, and every little itty bitty conversation thing she's ever said to me, I'm like putting like, she's a liar, like everything, and I'm freaking the fuck out. So we pull into the neighborhood, we go up to her dad's apartment, and my car's stopped, I'm chilling, we're walking up the stairs, and this beautiful girl is still with me, still there, but I don't know what the fuck's going on in my brain, and I'm freaking the hell out, and I don't know what to think. I'm like, do I do this? Do I have sex with her? Like, she's definitely gonna, like the way she's acting, her body language, everything tells me, like, she wants to have sex with me, right? Why me? Forget that, but why is this? Like, my mind is freaking the hell out between insecurities, along with first time, along with girl that is currently dating someone. So we get up to the door, and she opens the door, and the dog is like already there at the door, ready to go. It's a little like fucking chihuahua thing, and it just sort of walks by her. She's like, oh, thinking I'll like stop it. I'm in shock so much that it literally just walks right by me and runs down the stairs. And I'm just like, huh? What? The dog must have been like my moral compass guiding me in this time of peril, because he just darted the fuck out of there. And we spent the next 2-3 hours looking for that fucking chihuahua, but it saved me from possibly a terrible moral decision that I might have done. So we actually give up a little bit. We go back to the apartment, and she's saying like, oh, you can stay a little bit. And my mind's had time to think and clear things out as I'm running around looking for a fucking chihuahua, which we never found, by the way. They found it the next day. She invites you to stay. I'm like, no thank you, I'm outie, and I bail out. I go ahead and take her home, but the car ride home is way different than the car ride there, and she can easily tell I'm just dodging questions left and right. I'm sort of just looking to get her just out of my vehicle. So I leave with a hug. I tell her, have a good one, I'll text you for sure. Threw away that number, never looked back, and went on with life and continued hitting on girls in movie theaters, but being a little more cautious. So that's my time, guys. Thank you for watching. Remember, as always, like, comment, subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed this question. If you guys have a question of your own, or you want to hear a cool story or my opinion on something, go ahead and ask in the comment section below, and you might be the next subject of Hyperthermically Speaking. It was fun chilling with you guys, because I'm hypothermic, chilling, because you like hypothermia, cold, chill. Yeah, see ya.
I was a terror since the public school era. Bathroom passes, cutting classes, squeezing asses. Smoking blunts was a daily routine since 13. A chubby nigga on the scene. I used to have the tray deuce and the deuce in my bubble goose. Now I got the Mac in my knapsack, lounging black, smoking sacks up in axe and sidekicks with my sidekicks, rocking fly kicks. Honeys wanna chat, but all we wanna know is where the party at. And can I bring my gat? If not, I hope I don't get shot. Better throw my vest on my chest, cause niggas is a mess. It don't take nothing but frontin' for me to start something. Bugging and bugging.
Yeah, literally, when you die, they actually eat you.
Yo, The Necklace. I fucking love that movie, dude. Yeah, I don't have a kid. My kid draws like shit, too. I just own him, dude. I don't want him.
Alright, you won't have him very long.
Aw, dude, you ruined it for me. It's okay, Jimmy.
30 seconds.
It's okay, Jimmy. I got you. I'm my meatloaf! Jimmy! But my meatloaf! We gotta get my meatloaf! When is Jimmy gonna die already?